Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. My name is Jamie and I have got another Valentine DIY video for you right now. This first DIY, I had gotten this box over at Hobby Lobby in their clearance section, and this was actually a project that I had done last year. Decided to use the same kind of box to do another project for this year. So I have this marbled contact paper that I had picked up over at Walmart, and I decided that I'm going to cover it. So much like when you're wrapping presents, kind of put the box in the center, kind of eyeballed measuring it, and then just cut it to fit. I wasn't interested in trying to cover the entire box, just wanted the edges and the front side to be covered in this marble contact paper. And so what I'm doing here is I'm just kind of cutting a slit right where the corners are so that I can fold it nicely. And then I just peel off the back of the contact paper, which was a little bit of a problem. And you'll see me struggling here in just a second. And, but yeah, this was like a really easy project to do. I mean, there's contact paper in all different patterns and stuff. So I hope this actually inspires you to do, something similar, whether it be for Valentine's Day or for everyday decor or whatever you want it to be. So as you can see, I'm like trying to hold the paper down with my wrist and really struggling to get that box. Anyway, so I just kind of set it right back down where I had made those slits and just peel the rest of the back of the paper off. And that way I can just fold it over nicely. And then one thing that I did forget to do, you'll see me here do in a second, is I had to cut 2 more slits on the very top, and that way I can fold it nice and neat. Next, I have one of these wood decorative signs from Dollar Tree. This one says love, and I decided to paint it in one coat of the crimson paint by Waverly. And I don't know how y'all feel about if you do decorate for Valentine's Day. Do you decorate with, primarily red, primarily pink, or do you do like a mix of colors? I'm kind of curious because I originally wanted to go with, primarily red, but then there was like some pink Valentine decor that I had made, and I keep around the house, for Valentine's Day. And I just kind of decided, you know what, I like both. I think I like the red and the pink and the white, just a mix of all of it. Anyway, so once that was all dry, I just took a bit of some super glue and just did some super glue around the back side of that, and I put it on top of the box. I didn't want to use my hot glue gun because I was worried about like the plastic of the contact paper, and then the hot glue, like it melting it. I don't know if it would, but I just figured it made sense to me, so I opted out of that. So super glue, and then I had this extra Valentine ribbon from last year, and I just super glued that on there and cut that ribbon down to size because obviously those tails are way too long. Yeah, so, and this was just a simple bow, nothing too crazy, and I thought this was pretty cute. This would, go good with my Valentine Day decor. This next DIY, I have one of these Dollar Tree Christmas signs. You could use any sign you want to, honestly, but this is what I had on hand. So just removing the string and the tape that was on the back, I just gave this one coat of Waverly white chalk paint. And again, I had the same problem with the pink ballet slipper paint and my white chalk paint. I haven't touched it in a year, and I'm like scraping the insides. I think it's like hardened, and I got out what I could, so I got to buy all new paint. This is what you get when you don't craft for an entire year. But anyway, so I used what I possibly could, and then I had to just throw the rest of that bottle away. But anyway, one coat of this white paint, and Once that was all dry, I went in with the Waverly Antique Wax Paint, and with a smaller brush, basically I'm doing shiplap lines. A lot of you have seen this done so many times. This is probably nothing new to you, but anybody who is new to the channel, into the DIY world, you know, this is just what I do. Is I do like a line of wet paint, and then I took my dry stencil brush and just kind of gently went over top of that. And so kind of creating some shiplap lines, not looking for perfection here. That's, you know, I don't do that. But anyway, so I just going ahead and painting these lines, and then again with the dry brush going over top of that. And this also helps dry very quickly. And I had to think for a second, and I decided to dry brush the edges of my sign. Once all that was said and done and looking beautiful, I have one of these Dollar Tree mason jar little metal, galvanized metal thingies. I was kind of pretty happy that Dollar Tree is carrying these things now. But anyway, I actually just took the jute that was already attached to the mason jar sign thing, and basically use some hot glue to, you know, wrap it towards the back. And I had some extra jute pieces that I used to make it look like that the mason jar was, like, you know, wrapped in the jute twine, you know, just like you might normally see with a real mason jar. So I have this galvanized little heart. It was from Dollar Tree last year on a different sign. I just been holding on to it, and I thought that I wanted to make this heart look like it was kind of hanging off the jar. So I took a bit of jute twine, and I'm kind of like weaving it through the jute that I already have on there, and I'm just kind of playing around with it. Thought that maybe it would look cute, and it probably would look cute, but I changed my mind. I actually wanted it in the center. So because I've already done all that, so I just kind of tied it like, you know, it would on a normal mason jar, and with a little bit of hot glue, just kind of put a little bead of hot glue on the edges and place that heart right in the center. And of course, what's a DIY without some greenery? I just so happen to have this on hand, and I just kind of wedged that at the top there so it looked like it was coming out of the mason jar. And then forgetting that I actually didn't hot glue the mason jar down to my sign at all. You'll see me do that here in just a second as well. For this last DIY, I'm using one of these heart signs from Dollar Tree last year. Again, removing that jute from the top there, and I'm just doing one coat of the crimson Waverly chalk paint. So I printed out these feathered angel wings on my Cricut. I thought this was a really cool idea. I was inspired by something I had seen over at Hobby Lobby. It was like one of their metal signs. It's like a heart with like the wings. I thought that was kind of cool. Pretty neat for Valentine's Day, and so I decided to do that. And as you see me weeding this out, which is actually kind of relaxing, to be honest with you. Now, for those who don't have a Cricut, I'm sure there are plenty of ways to actually do this. There's probably stencils that you could probably order off of Amazon. I can link it down below if I can find one. You could also print something out if you have a printer at home and do the whole technique of you know, like with the pencil and then just kind of tracing over your project. There's ways of being able to do it do these kind of things if you don't have a Cricut. So don't feel like you have to rush out to go get a Cricut. But anyway, I happen to have one, so this is what I'm doing, and I thought this project turned out really cute. And look who has transfer tape this time. Hallelujah. I actually did have transfer tape. I went to the store and I bought more transfer tape, only to get home and realize that it was actually hiding underneath the bottom of my cabinet where I keep all my craft supplies. So now I've got extra, so whatever. Anyway, so I'm just putting my tape on top of here and rubbing with my little Cricut thingy. I don't even know what you even call this thing. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on the front of my project. And before anybody comments, I know that I accidentally cut off the tip of the wings. Maybe you didn't even notice. If you didn't notice, I shouldn't have said anything. But yeah, the tip of the wings kind of got cut off because I did not have enough vinyl cut out for when I was printing this out. Whatever. It's fine. It's fine. It's all fine. And I think I also have my wings slightly crooked on this heart, but it's fine. I don't mind. So now to make a hanger for this project, I've got some wood beads left over from me buying them over at Michael's last year. I'm just taking some jute and I'm just going to be threading. I thread this in through the back first, and I took a larger bead, slipped it through, then tied the knot, and then added all the smaller beads. And honestly, I was going to use all the smaller beads all the way around and then finish off with a bigger bead. But I think I accidentally grabbed a medium-sized bead after I grabbed 3 small ones, and I kind of decided to roll with it. I'm like, oh, okay, we got this nice little pattern going on here. So I've got 3 small beads and then a medium-sized bead, then 3 small, then 1 medium. And also a trick that I do here in just a second is grab some painter's tape. You don't need a whole lot, and just kind of tape the end of your jute. That way it won't fray. Kind of like creating like a needle type idea, you know, so you can like thread through. You get what I'm saying. All right, so anyway, and then of course I added too much tape, so I had to take that off and then fix it, and oh, look at that, I can thread beads now. Okay, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do 3 of the small, 1 of the medium, and then I just continue on to the very end. All right, y'all, that is it for today's video. I hope you liked it, and if you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share with somebody you love, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.